2 steps before starting a business. Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. One of the things that I do most of the time is spend a lot of time with people that have businesses that are already up and running and relatively successful and are already in movement. There's an old term that's easier to steer a moving car than a parked car. Okay, if it's already moving, if it's already growing, it's a lot easier to get things done. The toughest time in a business is in the very beginning, those first few months, those first few years. That is by far the toughest time in any business. But at the same time, I still work on the side with people that want to start a business for the first time. If you're one of those people, I've got 2 tips for you right off the bat. The 2 things you want to start with. Okay. Number 1, the first thing I would recommend you doing, especially right now, so this is May of 2021. Even if you're watching this years in the future, this will probably still be the same. One of the first things I recommend you do is write down everything you want to have and not want to have from a business. So both the results that you're hoping to get from it and the things that you definitely don't want from it, but you figure business might provide, spending too much time in the office or what have you. You've got to have those pieces of the list worked out. You've got to write all that stuff down. And seriously, don't just talk about it if you're going into it with anybody else, if you have a spouse, if you have loved ones that are going to be dependent on you, any of those, you're going to want to write all this stuff down and talk to them about it. Talk about the, best case scenario, worst case scenario when it comes to business ownership. If it were really to do what you wanted to do, write down what that is. And there's a reason for that. The reason is that when you start looking, or if you've even started looking for the type of business you're looking for, you're going to want to ask questions of people in those businesses to see if it fits where you want to be, and see if the negatives start popping up. So you got to have those written down. It can't just be in the back of your head. You've got to start learning that stuff that just sits in the back of your head is useless. It's got to get down on paper at some point. It's got to become tangible. That's how you make it in the business world, especially if you're anything like me, where you can be a little scatterbrained and forgetful about things. I know these are important things, and you think there's no way I could possibly forget, but you may forget them all at the same. You may forget pieces of them at the wrong time. So you're going to want to write those down. Write down those lists. Second thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start talking to business owners. If you know business owners, start talking to them. And there's 2 questions I'm going to recommend you ask them. But even if you just start having conversations with them about their business, that's going to get you a long way. I'm going to say there's 2 questions that you're going to want to ask them, and I'm going to talk about those tomorrow. So how's that for a hook? Come on back tomorrow, or if this is in the future, go and check out the next day's video in this series on starting a business. So go check that out. That's all I have for tonight. For those of you who already have a business and you're looking to overcome competitive forces and really stand out in your marketplace, check out my book, 9 Ways to Amazon-Proof Your Business. You can get a free copy at amazonproofbook.com. We'll be back tomorrow night. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.